Hello, hi guys. Today let's talk about a topic called functional programming in C++ using Lambda expression. So today let's see like what is functional programming and how can I use a Lambda and which version of a C++ should you need to be installed like in order to work with Lambda in C++. So let's say like I have created a file hello.cpp. We'll open that. So here you can see like I made a small program hello world as usual. So before that one, let's discuss like what is functional programming. See, functional programming means like you have to write your function in such a way that it should seems like a mathematical function. So what does it mean? So in your school days, you might have seen that like how to write a function in mathematics. Like f of x is a function and it returns x star x means like it is a functions which makes a multiplication of the same number, or let's say like there is another function called f of x comma y, and here maybe it is like x like 2x plus 2y plus maybe like something else. So it is all like how do you write your mathematical function in your school days and the college days? The same way, how can you write your function in C++? To do that one, there is something called lambda expressions, or simply called as lambda in C++. So the today topic is like how to write your function using a lambda. So lambda is nothing but an anonymous function. What is meant by anonymous function? Anonymous function means the functions which does not have any name. So that is called anonymous function. So the basic syntax of using a lambda is this one. And if you see this one, this is a valid C++ program. So what you can do is let me save this one and let's compile. And here you can see it's all working fine. So to use lambda, so let's go back to my um, foreground. Let's go back to my hello world program. FG means foreground. So let's started writing some lambda expressions. So let me delete these two lines, this one as well. And how you can write a lambda. So let's start with a simple example. Let's say you have a function called maybe print, which does not take anything, and simply it's like say I am printing. So this is some simple functions. And how can we write a lambda? How can we write in a lambda way? So let's see that one. So this is my empty function. This function does not take anything and I do not specified any name here. And let's write a function. So here let's say cout I am printing from lambda. So now I have wrote an empty function. So let's try to execute, and also let's call let me delete this hello world. So let me call the function print, then write, then let me compile it again, and now let's start a dot out. See here, like now we are printing, it is saying I am printing, but it did not printed our lambda. So in order to print your lambda, what you have to do is you need to execute this function, right? So now you have made an empty function, but you need to execute this one. In order to execute this one, just call that function. So that's it. So here we have created an empty function and we are calling that one. Let's see what happens. Right, and Control Z, G++ hello world. Let's do a dot out. See here, now we are seeing like I am printing from lambda, and here it is saying I am printing. So both the functions are getting called. So let's make this one some more complex. Let's delete this one, and also let me delete this one as well, and let's start it looking one by one. So let me delete this one as well. Okay, now here we'll put a comment saying empty function. Now let's say we will create an addition which adds two number and returns the result. And to do that one, what actually we have to do is, as usual, here if we have a function, empty function int a, int b, and this is our function body, which is nothing but a lambda body, and return a plus b, and it returns a value of a plus b. So to execute this one, let's do this one, and we need to say like what is the return type, right? So by default you no need to mention what is the return type. So if you want, you can do it like this. So my return value is int. So this is C++ way of doing. C++ 11 onwards we can do like this. So let's call this function. We have called this function, but we did not save the value, right? So let me do int result is equal to this one. So now we created a function, and also we executed the function. So let me print sum of, maybe let's say 1 and 20 is, let me call my result, and while calling the function you need to pass parameter, right? So let's call like 1 comma 20 and endl. Okay, here like you may get little confused. So let's again go back and let's see like what is happening. See here, this is a function, and here we are passing two parameters, int a comma int b, and the return is integer, and in a function body we are returning a plus b. So this entire thing is like our function body. So this is our function body. To execute this one, here we are calling here itself. So we call this anonymous function. So here you can see I did not give any name, and here we call this anonymous function, and we had given two values 1 comma 20, and after you call this function it returns a value a plus b, and in order to save that one, we saved in a variable called result. So here like what actually I'm doing, like here again this result is just printed here. Let's see what happens. So we should get a output of 21. Let's see, g++ hello.cpp. Let me execute. See here, the sum of 1 and 20 is 21. So everything is working fine. Let me go back. So now we'll say function which takes two parameter and returns the value. So let's say like you don't want to execute the function then and there itself. So for that one, like you can save this entire anonymous function into a function pointer. So first let's do in a old way. Next we'll look into how can we do with the C++ 11 standard. So in an old way is like you have a function pointer called fptr, and it takes a two parameter int comma int and returns a value integer. So this is the way we can write a function pointer. So this is what I have declared this function pointer. Let's assign a variable like fptr is equal to the same lambda functions whatever we had written, int a comma int b, and let's return a plus b, and that's it. So now you created a function pointers which is pointing to an anonymous function that is nothing but your lambda function. And let's say like now you want to call your function. How can you do? Let's say like sum of 5 and 10 is, let's call your function fptr and pass the parameters 5 comma 10, then endl. So we expect 15 from this one. So if you did not understand this one, let me tell you again. So this is a function pointer, this is a pointer which points to an function which takes two parameter, that is integer and integer, and returns an integer. And after that when I assigned this variable to anonymous function, to this anonymous function. So this anonymous function is nothing but anonymous functions where fptr is pointing to that anonymous function. So then later I call this fptr with two parameters 5 and 10. So let's execute this. Let's execute this one. Let me compile this again and let's do a dot out. See here, sum of 5 and 10 is 15. So now like you get little bit confused about like what is this function pointer lang, and if you are not from C or C++ background, it is very difficult to see these kind of syntax, right? So let me make a simplification for you. Let's say function created but not called. All this program I'll be giving in the description so you can revisit and see. So let's say like function pointer using function. So there is like some C++ syntax, so it's easy for you to see like how the function pointer works. So that means like there is something called std function. Here you can specify integer and integer comma integer. So this is the way you can declare a function pointer in C++ 11 onwards. So now let's say let's copy the same thing. Let's copy and let me paste. So here you can do, sorry, f. So now the same thing, let me copy this one and paste. So this time we should use f. So instead of this one, like what I am telling is like the syntax of this one looks very difficult, right? So the C++ 11 way, the C++ way of doing a function pointer is this one. If you want to use this, then you need to declare hash include functional. So this is the include you need to add. So here like I have made, let me zoom out. Yeah, here you can see function pointers which take two parameter integer and returns int. So this is very much easy compared to this one, right? So let me execute. Let's me save and let's do g++ hello world a dot out. Here you can see 5 and 10, the sum of 5 and 10 is 15. So now let's go still more deeper into Lambda. So now you said like we now you know like how to use function pointer, how to use a function pointer with your anonymous function that is nothing but a lambda. So now let's see like what is this another square bracket. So what does it mean is, let's say like you have a parameter int a is equal to 10, and now let's say like int b is equal to 20, and you want to use this value inside your function. Then how can you do that one? It is like you need to say a comma b, and as always like anonymous function. Here instead of like let's take maybe x comma int y, and this is an anonymous function. This is an anonymous function, and here you can use value a and b. Let's say return a plus b plus x plus y. For simplicity, what we can do is, let's say this function will not take any argument, and simply it will do a plus b and return a value c. So if I execute this one, you should get a value of 10 plus 20. So let's see what will happen. Let me save and let me recompile. Here we are getting error line number 42. Let me fix that one. So what actually we are getting is cannot convert a lambda to integer. Okay, what actually it is saying is, here we are pointing to a anonymous function, but we did not call it, so it seems like it is a function pointer. So let me recompile this one. Let's save this one and let's recompile and let's see a dot out. See here the value c is 30. So here we are getting value 10 comma 20. So let me remove this one. Let's see what will happen. So here we are passing only value b, and we think like this value a will be visible inside this anonymous function, right? So let me try what will happen once we compile the program. Let's save this one, again go back and execute g++. See here what actually it is telling is a is not captured, a plus b. So I am continuously doing in visual Vim edit. Maybe it will be very difficult for you to see both. Let me open in a gedit in a background. And before that one, let's go to foreground and let's right quit. And let me compile this program again. And here you see there is a syntax error. So let me reload and yeah. Here what actually it is telling is a is not captured. That means whatever this bracket is there, right? This is called capture list. So if you want to pass any of your global variable into your anonymous function, you need to pass either through this one or using the capture list. So my capture list a comma b. So while like you are sending a capture list, there are like two way you can do. One is like now we have made like a comma b. This is called pass by value. So that means this a is passed as a value to this function. But you can either do it with a reference as well. The same thing what you can do is copy this one, paste, let's say d, and you can do I am passing by value, not value, for sorry, reference. Let's say I'll update a is equal to 20 and let me see whether the value of a is 20 or not. Value of a after change is a handle. The same thing will print before as well. So we passed as a reference so that the value of a earlier it was 10, it should change to 20 and the result should also be changed. So let's say d is equal to, so what is our expectation? So like we passed a and the value of a is changed, now it is 20. 20 plus the b value is 20, we should get 40. So 40 is the value of d, d is equal to 40, it should print. And the value of a after change, it should be 20. Let me see. Let's compile this one again and let's execute. See now the value after change is 10, so it's before. Let me compile and execute. See, the value of a before change is 10, the value of a after change is 20, so the value of d is 40. So that means here you are passed the value as a reference. So now there is one more thing. So now there is one more thing called in the parameter list. What you can do is, let's say like you have two variables, so it's very easy to give a variable like in a para. What is this list? In this list you can send either through like a parameter as a value, as or through a reference. What if you have a hell lot of variables, so you cannot keep on type like a 10 variables you need to pass, right? So for that one, what actually you can do is, there is one more option like this. So if you type is equal to, then all of your global variable above this lambda function will be passed as a value. Is equal to means value. Let me print this again. E and E. So what does it means? Like now we passed everything already. The value of A is updated to 20, and here 20 plus 20, again you should return 40. Let's see what happens. Compile, run. See here, E is 40. So here you observe like I did not pass anything into this capture list. So I pass simply is equal to. Is equal to means pass everything as a pass by parameter, pass by value. So now the same way we have pass by reference. So pass all the value with a reference. So now here like everything is passed by reference. Now here like when if you update A is equal to 20 or something again, let's say this time let's make it 30. 30 plus 20, this time we expect 50 to be printed. Let me recompile and execute. See here the E value is 50. That means the value of A is updated. So again if we rechange to pass by value, and if we execute, see here selling, here it is telling assignment of read only variable A. That means the value A is passed as a pass by value, and also while passing internally it has made like this const int A. This is how it has sent. So that's why like you cannot modify that one. So this is like pass by value and a pass by reference. And let's say you want to let's keep this one here for your reference, and let me make it as a reference. Let me remove this one, EF. Let me make this one as F. Let me make this one as F. Now let's say you want to, before this one, let me compile and check like whether it's all working fine. Oh my god, it is giving a lot of errors. What is this one? F cannot convert F. Where is F? A is equal to 30 F, and the value of F. No operator matched F. So here I have F. So I don't know like what is the error I have made. Let's try with G. I don't know. This is a okay. I don't know like what was the error. Let's recompile. See here the value of G is 50. Okay, now everything is working fine. So let's say we want to pass some of the value as a reference and some of the value as a parameter. Then how can I do that one? So the same way, just you copy this one, and paste here EFGH. Let me give as H. So you pass A as a pass by value and address of B as a pass by reference. So this time let's change value of B. So H is equal to H. So last time the value of A was 30, now value of B is 30, the output of H should be 60. Let's see like whether will it works. See the value of the value of H is 60. So now what I did, so I made like a as a parameter pass by value and b as pass by reference. So now you can modify b but you cannot modify a. So these are all the different permutation and combination of lambda expression. So let's recap what are all the things we have done, and also in the description I'll keep this program also as well. So first thing is like lambda is an anonymous function, which is nothing but an like anonymous function means which does not have any name. So this is the syntax to execute to create a lambda function we created, and while creating we executed as well. So if you do this one, it will execute your anonymous function and it prints. So first time it has printed, I am printing from lambda. Here you can see I am printing from lambda. Next, the function which takes two parameter and returns the value. What if you want your function to take a parameter? Let's say int a comma b, and this is your capture list, and here this is where your lambda function or expression, and it while calling you are passing 1 and 20, you are returning value 1 and 20. The return value is an integer. See, this is what you have to observe. Here we are calling the function, so that's why the return value is an integer and it is a result. So the sum of 1 and 20 is 21. So the sum of 1 and 20 is 21. Let's go further. What happens if you want to save your anonymous function to a function pointer? So the C way of doing is you create a declaration of function pointer fptr, and you pass this anonymous function to that. Here you have to observe that if you use this bracket with value, then you are calling function, but here we are not calling function, just simply we declared the function. So then we assign this function to this fptr. So whenever you call fptr 5 comma 10, the total of this one should be 15. So here the sum of 5 and 10 is 15. Let's move further. So this is old way, that is C way of doing. The C++ way of doing is using std function. So here it tells my return type is integer, and my function parameters are int comma int, and this is the name of function pointer. So it is same like before, just I am using this syntax. To use this syntax you have to include this functional. Now the function the same, like sum of 5 and 10 is 15. This is also done. Now let's, like you want to call the lambda, call lambda with parameters from call lambda and use global variable. So here like int a comma 10 and b comma 20, b is equal to 20, it is a global variable, and here like we created a lambda function as usual. Instead of passing as a parameter, we captured that. That means we are capturing the c and b as a value. So then the same thing will happen. The c is equal to 10 plus 20. Now either like this we can capture by reference. That syntax is ampersand a and ampersand b. And the same way, like if you want to capture all these things, all a and b and all the global variables, just you make it as is equal to, this is pass by value all global variables. Now the same thing, it is pass by reference and all the global variables. So now here you can change the value, and if you want a mix of pass by value and pass by reference, you can use this syntax. This is there are like a lot of permutation and combination you can do, like ampersand a, ampersand c, and rest everything you want to capture by value. You can do it like this. So there are like different permutation and combination of doing this one. So this entire program I'll be keeping in the description for your reference. So before that one, let me recompile and see whether it's all working fine. Yes. Yeah, guys, like everything is working fine. So basically the lambda function is nothing but like it's an anonymous functions which is used to represent like a older way how we write our functions in a mathematics. So this is all about lambda expressions. So hope you like this video. If you have any doubts or anything, please mention in a comment box. And if you like this video, please share, subscribe and click on the notification button for any updates with the new videos. Thank you.